Hello, everyone, and welcome back to EnglishPod. I'm Mark, your host, and with me today is my amazing co-host, Erica.
Hey, Mark. Hey, everyone. We're so excited to have you here with us today. Part 1. The Secret to Discipline and Success.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting and inspiring episode of our podcast. I'm Marco, and I'm so happy you decided to join us today.
Hi, friends. I'm Erica, and I'm thrilled that you're here with us again. Today, we have a very special episode for you. Marco, do you want to tell our listeners what we're going to discuss?
Absolutely, Erica. Today, we are going to talk about something that can help you achieve success in almost every area of your life. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's something more powerful. It's called discipline.
Oh, discipline. That's a big word and a really important idea. But Marco, can you explain a bit more clearly what discipline really means? Because sometimes when I hear the word discipline, I think of rules or restrictions.
That's a great question, Erica. Discipline can sound strict, but it's actually something very positive. Discipline is your ability to keep going and stay focused, even when you don't feel motivated or excited. It's about consistency and doing the things that are good for you, even when they are hard.
Oh, I see what you mean. Discipline helps us stay on the right path to reach our goals, right?
Exactly. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you want to learn English fluently, but some days you're tired or busy. Discipline is what helps you practice every day. Even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes, it's that inner strength that says, keep going, you can do it.
That's so true. Without discipline, we usually start something with lots of excitement, but soon after, we lose interest or motivation.
Yes, Erica. Motivation and excitement come and go. They're not always reliable. But discipline is different. Discipline becomes your best friend because it stays with you even when things get tough. It pushes you to continue when other people might stop.
I totally understand now. Discipline is like the secret ingredient for success. But Marco, how can we develop discipline? Is it something we can actually learn, or is it something we have to be born with?
Excellent question, Erica. The great news is that discipline is something you can absolutely develop. It's like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes.
Wow, that's encouraging. So today we will also discuss practical tips on how to build and strengthen our discipline, right?
Exactly. We're going to share stories, examples from successful people, and give our listeners clear strategies to build discipline step by step.
Sounds exciting. I can't wait to dive deeper into this topic.
Me too. So, friends, get ready. Today, you'll learn how to become more disciplined and achieve your dreams.
Part 2. Personal experiences. So, Marco, let's talk honestly for a moment. Discipline is extremely important, but sometimes it's really hard to stay disciplined consistently. Do you ever experience this challenge?
Oh, yes, Erica, absolutely. Honestly, it happens to me quite often. For example, I remember when I decided to start learning to play guitar. At first, I was incredibly excited. I bought a new guitar, watched lots of videos online, and practiced every single day. But after just 1 week, my excitement started to fade away.
Really? What happened after that?
Well, after about 2 weeks, I started practicing less and less. Soon, days passed without me even touching the guitar, and the reason was simple. My motivation disappeared. Practicing felt difficult, boring, and not as fun as in the beginning. Eventually, I stopped playing altogether. It was disappointing.
Oh, I completely understand you, Marco. I've experienced something similar myself. I decided to learn Spanish last year. I downloaded a language learning app, bought some books, and even made a study plan. I thought, this time I'm definitely going to do it.
That sounds great. Did it work?
At first, yes. Every day I studied for at least 30 minutes, and I felt great about myself. But after about a week or two, just like you with your guitar, my excitement and motivation decreased. I started skipping study sessions because I was tired or too busy. Eventually, I stopped completely.
Why do you think this happens to us so often, Erica?
That's an important question, Marco. I think it happens because motivation alone isn't enough. Motivation is based on our emotions, and emotions change constantly. Some days we feel happy and excited, and other days we feel tired, bored, or distracted.
Exactly. This is why discipline is so important. Discipline helps us continue even when our motivation is gone. Discipline doesn't rely on feelings, it relies on habits and commitment. When you're disciplined, you practice the guitar or study Spanish regularly, even if you don't always feel like doing it.
I totally agree. Discipline is what keeps us going. It's the reason successful people achieve their goals, even if it takes a long time.
Yes, Erica. So the real question is, how can we learn to become more disciplined? Are there any special techniques or strategies we can use?
Definitely. And we're going to discuss these techniques soon. But first, I want our listeners to know they're not alone. It's perfectly normal to struggle with discipline. Everyone experiences difficulties with consistency, whether you're learning English, playing sports, studying, or starting a new hobby.
That's so true. So, listeners, don't worry if you sometimes lose motivation or feel lazy. It's normal. Erica and I experience it too. But together, we'll learn how to overcome these challenges and become more disciplined.
Yes. And that brings us to our next important part. We'll look at examples of famous, successful people. We'll see if they naturally had discipline or if they also had to learn it, just like us.
Great idea, Erica. I think these stories will inspire our listeners a lot. Are you ready to hear them?
Absolutely. Let's continue. Part 3, Real Life Examples.
Now, Erica, let's explore how discipline works in real life. I think it will help our listeners if we share some stories of well known successful people. We often think successful people were born disciplined, but is this really true?
That's a great question, Marco. Let's start with one of the most famous examples, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Everyone knows Steve Jobs because he created amazing products like the iPhone and MacBook. But did you know he wasn't always disciplined?
Really? That's surprising. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. In his early years, Steve Jobs was creative, but not always consistent. He had great ideas, but sometimes struggled to stay focused. Over time, however, he learned that discipline was essential to success. Jobs started planning his days carefully, working long hours, and focusing on small details. Little by little, discipline became a habit. Eventually, this habit turned Apple into one of the most successful companies in history.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, Steve Jobs wasn't born disciplined. He had to learn it, just like everyone else.
Exactly. And he's not the only example. Let's talk about another famous person, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is known today for companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and PayPal. Many people admire him for his incredible success, but did you know how he built his discipline?
Tell us about it, Erica.
When Elon Musk started his first companies, he often worked 100-hour weeks. Can you imagine that? He spent day after day, week after week, working extremely hard. It wasn't easy for him. He faced many challenges, disappointments, and moments when he wanted to quit. But he kept going because he had strong discipline. Discipline was his secret weapon, not luck or natural talent.
That's amazing. So, what you're saying is Elon Musk succeeded not because it was easy, but because he pushed himself to stay disciplined, even when things got really difficult.
Exactly, Marco. Success almost always comes from discipline and hard work. Talent helps, motivation is nice, but discipline is the key ingredient that makes success possible in the long run.
It reminds me of another great example from history, Thomas Edison. Edison invented the electric light bulb, but did you know he tried thousands of times before he finally succeeded?
Really? Thousands of times?
Yes, Erica. Edison famously said, I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Imagine how much discipline Edison needed. Most people would have given up after just a few tries, but Edison kept going because he was disciplined and determined, he knew what he wanted, and he never lost sight of his goal.
That's truly inspiring, Marco. Edison's story shows us that discipline helps us push through failure and difficulties. Discipline gives us strength when motivation disappears.
Exactly. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Thomas Edison, they all achieved great success because they learned discipline. They weren't born with it. They practiced it, developed it, and strengthened it over time.
I love these stories because they show our listeners and us that discipline is possible for everyone. No matter who you are or what your goals are, you can learn discipline.
Absolutely. And in our next part, we'll talk about specific tips and strategies to build discipline step by step.
I'm so excited to share those strategies. Are you ready to help our listeners build their discipline, Marco?
Yes, let's do it.
Part 4: How to Develop Discipline.
All right, Erica, we've talked a lot about discipline and why it's important. Now let's get practical. How can we develop discipline? What specific steps can our listeners take to build their discipline?
That's the most important question, Marco. Discipline is not magic, it's actually a skill. And like any skill, the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Let's talk about some clear strategies that anyone can start using today.
Great idea. What's the first step you recommend?
Step 1: Write down clear goals. The first step, and one of the most powerful, is to write down your goals clearly on paper. Many people never do this, but it's incredibly important.
Interesting. But why is writing goals down so effective?
When you write your goals down, you turn your dreams into something real and concrete. You see exactly what you want to achieve, and it becomes easier to stay disciplined. Imagine you want to improve your English. Instead of just thinking about it, you write down something specific like, I will practice English 20 minutes every day. This simple action helps your brain focus and creates a clear path forward.
That's a great point, Erica. I heard somewhere that around 97% of people never write down their goals. They have dreams, but those dreams stay unclear. Writing down goals gives you clarity and direction.
Step 2: Start small. Exactly. And here's another tip: start small. Discipline isn't about making huge changes overnight. It's about small, daily steps. Let me give you an example.
Yes, please do.
Imagine you want to become physically healthier. Instead of saying, I'll go to the gym every day for 2 hours, you start small. Say something like, I will do 10 minutes of exercise every day. It's easier to stay disciplined when the goal is achievable. After a while, These small steps become habits, and then you can slowly increase the difficulty.
I love that idea, Erica. Small steps are manageable and realistic. It's easier to stay disciplined if you're not overwhelmed.
Step 3. Create a daily routine. Yes, and another powerful way to build discipline is to create a daily routine. A routine means doing the same actions at the same time every day. Our brains love routines because they reduce decision making. When something becomes routine, you do it automatically without thinking.
Could you give an example of a good routine?
Sure, if your goal is to improve your English, you might create a routine like this. Every day, right after dinner, you study English for 15 minutes. You don't have to think about when or if you will study. It's simply part of your day. Over time, it becomes automatic. You don't rely on motivation because discipline takes over.
That's brilliant, Erica. Routines really do make discipline easier. Step 4. Keep track of your progress.
Here's one more tip. Track your progress. Keeping track means writing down or marking each day you complete your task. It could be on your calendar, in a notebook, or even an app on your phone. Seeing your progress is motivating and helps you stay disciplined.
That makes sense. When you see how many days in a row you've studied English or exercised, you feel proud and motivated to continue. Right.
Exactly, Marco. Tracking your progress helps you celebrate small victories, and it keeps you disciplined.
These are fantastic tips, Erica. Let's quickly summarize them again for our listeners. Write down clear goals. Start small. Create a daily routine. Track your progress.
Yes, these practical steps can help anyone develop strong discipline. It's not always easy, but it's completely possible.
That's right. Discipline takes time to build, but these simple techniques can make it easier. And remember, friends, discipline is something everyone can learn and improve.
Absolutely. And in the final part of our podcast, we'll share one more powerful secret to staying disciplined, finding your why, your deeper motivation behind every goal.
I can't wait to talk about that, Erica. Let's jump into our next and final part.
Part 5. Keeping your why in mind.
Welcome back, friends. We've shared lots of practical tips to build discipline, but now let's discuss one last extremely important tip that will help you stay disciplined over time, remembering your why.
Yes, Marco, your why is your personal reason or deeper motivation behind your goals. When you have a strong why, it becomes easier to continue even when things get hard.
Exactly. Your why is like your inner compass. It shows you clearly why your goal is important, especially when you feel tired, bored, or discouraged. Without a clear why, it's easy to lose focus.
Let me give a clear example. Imagine two friends decide to wake up early every day and go running. Friend number one runs just because she thinks, well, running is probably good for me. Friend number two runs because she wants to improve her health so she can have more energy to play with her kids. Marco, who do you think will stay disciplined longer?
Definitely the second friend. Her reason or why is very strong and personal. She has a clear and emotional connection to her goal, so she will likely stay disciplined even when it's raining or she's feeling lazy.
Exactly, Marco. The stronger your why, the stronger your discipline becomes. That's why it's important to clearly identify and even write down your reasons behind your goals.
Great point, Erica. And I heard that visual reminders can also help strengthen your why. For example, some people create something called a vision board. Have you heard about vision boards?
Yes, vision boards are great. A vision board is a collection of pictures, quotes, and images that represent your dreams and goals. You place this vision board somewhere you can see it every day, like your bedroom wall or your desk. Each time you look at it, you remind yourself why you're working hard and staying disciplined.
Exactly. Let's say your goal is learning English fluently. Your vision board could have images of travel, new job opportunities, international friends, or quotes about communication. Every time you look at it, you'll feel inspired and motivated.
I love that. It's a simple and powerful way to keep your why clear and strong. How to use your why. Write down your deeper reasons clearly. Create visual reminders, like a vision board, to keep yourself inspired. Regularly remind yourself why you started.
Yes. So, friends, discipline isn't just about forcing yourself to work hard, it's about understanding why your goals really matter. When your why is clear, discipline feels more natural and rewarding.
Absolutely. Discipline is a journey, and it becomes easier when you clearly know why you're doing what you're doing.
So, let's quickly review everything we've talked about today. Discipline is essential for success. Motivation and talent come and go, but discipline stays with you. Discipline is a skill, and you can develop it with practice. Write clear goals, start small, create routines, and track your progress. Always keep your why in mind to stay inspired and disciplined.
Amazing summary, Marco. Friends, we hope you found today's podcast helpful and inspiring. Remember, you have the power to become disciplined and achieve incredible things.
Absolutely! And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for our next episode. Keep working toward your dreams. You can do it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay disciplined, motivated, and positive. See you next time.